Hello, good evening, everyone. Myself, I'm Fazila. I work as a Salesforce automation engineer at Which, and this is my colleague Shruthi Reddy. She's working as a developer in test. We are here to just give you a glimpse on the journeys in technology that we have come across. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So how did our career begin? So everyone would have been at the phase where you initially started your career. So we just want to take you across, like, how did it begin? So when you were at the phase 1 of your career, you would have a choice like, what will I be actually working on? So you know the real world and the stuff when you were doing a graduation is really different. You just know on the stuff which is in the market in a very high pace or something and not about the other stuff. The second will be like, will my work be relevant to my education? Because always the stream which you choose as your education has not been a long-term life career for many of us. So that will be your question at the initial stage. Doubt on my coding skills. So you learn something on Java, you have a prescribed programs, you have the output, a solution wherever you search in Google. But when you come to the real-time world, it's not like that. You don't get solution for all of those. So you would always have a doubt. Fear of failures. So the first time when you're first stepping into a career, so you would have a bit of fear, whether I'm going to succeed or is this the right path I'm choosing in. The rest is like, how will my career look in another 5 years? So always when you start up as a plan, like you as a front-end developer, like, okay, let me start as a junior. We go to mid in 2 years. In 5 years, these are my technologies, these are the stuff. So this is how we all start. So we always have a book of biography telling about Steve Jobs or Bill Gates. So you have prescribed programs saying, oh, let me follow this, and we'll reach to these heights. So everyone has started in the same way. So this is how, and the career field just shows you one way, we just get in. Like, how many of you guys had an experience like where you confused at the initial of your stage? Were you? Yes, so all were in that phase. So it's the same thing. So our travel. So my travel, how I started my career was, so I basically know what C, C++, OOPS, and these concepts. But when I came into this world, it was like I was given a posting of like a SAP automation consultant. SAP. So have you heard this word? Yes. Okay. I heard a very low. So I was at the same position. Like, what is this? I've never heard. I know what's this. What's a iOS? What's an Android? I know a front end, back end. This is something new to me. Okay, just I was introduced to that, and I went in. Then came a language problem where everyone faces. So you are well versed in your Java at your initial stage, and then you just get in. I was given a Visual Basic, so I know it's there, but I don't know what it is. So it's like a world of difference. I didn't understand what I'm going to do. So that's how I started. Shruti, similar to yours?
Yes, everybody has their own different journeys, as Fazila said. So some people move from development to testing, and some people move from testing to development, and some people may change the domains as well. And even some people move from IT to non-IT or non-IT to IT. Like, there are different kinds of career changes which we choose in our lifetime. So I belong to a group where people move from development to testing. So when I passed my uni, I was just a engineering degree holder, like who's passed out of computer science, who holds a computer science degree. So when I got my first job, I was trained on iPhone development. So I was enthusiastic, and I started preparing my own apps, and it was quite good, and it was interactive as well, because when you code it, and then you are able to see your things on the computer, so you'll be more excited. So when I got my first project, it was totally different. It was back-end development, so I was PLSQL developer. It was so different from what I have worked on before. So I had all the questions what Fazila just said, will I be really able to code? Will I be able to get success? Will I be able to have my own identity in my team? So all these kind of questions was popping out on my head continuously. I had really a big time nightmare when I started my first project. So as time moved on, I was totally gelling up with the PLSQL, and even I fell in love with PLSQL. So I was so much comfortable, I was so happy. So when we move from one technology to another technology, what are all the hurdles we face? That's what we are going to talk about now. So the first thing what I did was I started interacting with the people who works in the PLSQL platform. That helped me a lot, because what happens is at the time when you start moving into a different technology, what happens is when you go on to the Google, you will get many suggestions, but you don't know which one to pick up, which one to choose for you. So it helps us when we know the people who are already in that. So I used to go and talk to my fellow people who are in the PLSQL, and also I used to talk to the, go to the meetups where they speak about the PLSQL things, because you'll get to know more about what is happening in the technology. Because as a developer, you need to know what is currently running, not the older versions. So it is better to meet up to the people. And then next is grasping the language rules. So what happens is, most of the, suppose if I take C++ and the Java, it is both are object oriented, but the thing is it is just the changes in the language rules. So if you know the concepts, if you know the rules, it is very easy for you to move on to the another technology. And the another thing is relating the old concepts with the new concepts. So you should have your concepts clear. That is very important for us. If you know that, it is very easy for you to grasp the new things. And then timelines for the completion. What happens is when you start learning something, so you will be in that learning space. So when you have a completion date set for yourself, that helps for you to move on to the real-time examples, real-time problems. So it is very very important for you to have a completion date set for yourself. And the next thing is understanding the complete landscape. So what does this mean? So if a person knows different kinds of languages, what happens is at times you need to know where you need to use what. If you miss out that point, then you will be like your project is going to fall down. So you need to know what is a platform, where I need to use what. If you are able to identify that, that will be very helpful for you guys. And before, when I moved on to Which, before that I was a Java automation developer. So when I was hired by Which, I was hired for a Ruby automation developer. Again, this was another big change in my career again. So my organization helped me with the Udemy courses, and also that I used to talk to my fellow seniors who used to help me to understand the framework, and then to understand how to use Ruby and all. So it helps us a lot when we speak up to the people. That's what. And also Fazila has her own kind of experience. Can you share that?
So as I told, I was for an SAP, it's a CRM related program. I was hired for that, and later I too had a change in a career, becoming a Python automation. I moved into Python automation for AI testing, so again a different platform. And now at Which, I'm a Salesforce automation engineer. So it was like a drastic change. It's a CRM application, but still everything is different when you learn a language, when you move from one place to other, it's different. So again, Which helped me to learn what's the Salesforce about, the Udemy courses, the learnings, and whatever the curves are. So I would say anything you want to explore will always be supported by Which. So that's the platform which was given to us. Then what we do in our QA team. Who are these QA? We have heard it. In some organization, I actually never see a QA team. It exists. So who are these QA? What are they doing in a development platform? And why we are hearing about them? So we are quality and assurance. We are the quality gatekeepers. So whatever you develop, or the requirement is, we make sure that it is right, it's tested right, with the right language, right framework, and we take it back. So that's we are. This is a holistic view, what we do at Which. So initially, as a development process, you finish your development, you do your unit testing, and later at the unit testing phase, even we start our framework. So we sit along with our developers, making sure what language will be most useful for this, will this be right? Because the testing of the automation is going to be on your application, so the framework should support. So that's how our unit testing is done. That's the place where we discuss on different frameworks. We work on every framework available, we test everything, and then we decide our own advantages and disadvantages for that application. Later, we do a system testing, integration testing, regression testing. So since we are doing automation framework at a very early stage, our scripts are ready by the time you reach the regression testing. So we can run the scripts and we can do it. So why should we run these scripts, and for what is this useful? So basically what it does is you will have a good test effectiveness. So to make sure before something you have developed goes into market, you make sure that there is no bug. We test it in a different point of view from a client and a customer point of view. Then the productivity improvement, early automation. So when we do an early automation, so we can implement the continuous integration and delivery. So you would have heard about it even in the development world. So later we have implemented that in even the testing. So as soon as you develop and you have released into the code, it will automatically kick in the automation scripts and give you a result, whether it's success or failure. So we do that journey and give you an appropriate result as soon as you drop in the build, and the next day you arrive, everything is ready. So if you see here, for performance testing is also available here, and we are using JMeter. We use Python, we have Ruby on Rails, Circle CI is the stuff we are using on, so Source Labs, Jira, the management tools, and the scripts. So this is just a holistic view. So what do we do with React? You guys from React to hear of the React, so what's this? And React is the testing framework, yeah? So this is our website. If you have not seen, please do log in today and see what we have done with the React framework. So our applications like reviews and advice, money, later life care, university, and birth choice uses the React framework. So you can just go and have a look there. And you have the URL if you're not sure. So then what we do here, so as you all know, we use the HTML, CSS, JS with React, the GraphQL for the APIs. And for the unit testing, we use here Jest and Mocha. Similarly, so when the front end and these stuffs are getting ready, we simultaneously start for the QA. So recently, all these applications have been changed to React framework, and we, in testing, we have started to do, because your unit testing is ready, and we are developing a POC or a framework. So we have thought to choose a detox automation framework, and with BDD, because that's where you get the requirements, and then with Cypress and Test Cafe. So this is in POC. Hope we work with many frameworks and come out with a good one. Yeah, over to Shruti.
Yeah. Team collaboration. Yes, it is one of the most important thing what we need to have in every team. So in which, like, what do we do? So for team collaboration, we have different kinds of things. In our QA team, we do have bi-weekly QA meetups. So what do we do in the QA meetups? So we basically, like, all the QAs will meet up, and then we will discuss about the problems and also the solutions what they have got up. So what happens is, at times in a sprint, some person may have like got up the new kind of a problem, and then how did they solve it? Because what happens is that kind of a same problem might be faced by the another QA in another project. So it is a kind of a good platform where we discuss about all our problems and how did we overcome them. So that's a kind of one QA meetup, and also we discuss about the project, progress of the project, so we get to know what is happening with the other projects as well. And also, like, we have something called as combined product meetups, where all the product teams will meet up, and then we will discuss about how did the sprint go and what was the new feature they have implemented recently, so that we can get to know the project, like different kinds of product teams also, and we get to meet a lot of other people as well. So that's a kind of another meetups we have. And one more thing, like recently, one thing I want to share with you all today, that recently we have made a different kind of stand-up approach. That is, now we have stopped talking about the updates, because lot of teams does the same. Like, they will just keep on talking about the updates, like, I did this, tomorrow I'm going to do this, or this is what is happening. We don't talk about blockers and the issues much. So we have got a new kind of way where we talk about only the issues and the blockers, because we mainly focus on that, because that is the only one thing which is stopping our sprint moving forward. So that's a new kind of thing which we have got up, and it is really going well with us, guys. And Fazila, you want to add something?
Yeah, so I think most of the things Shruti has covered up. So I would say teamwork is always, what is teamwork and what are those efforts. So always we go for a meetup, take up all those solutions, whatever is there. I would say you use the solution to decide whether it's an advantage or a disadvantage. So unless you use it, you'll never know if it's suitable for your application or not. So use it and determine it. So thanks for that. And this is thanks to our girls, this is our team. And thanks for them for giving the content and to go further. And at last, thanks to all of you for the React and Which for giving us such a platform, and Wildly for this. Thank you so much.